Mic'd up.
Thank you for coming tonight to Yankees Coast to Coast. Ooh, are you hearing that okay?
I'm hearing it just fine. You're a
Okay.
little tinny, but we'll figure it out in the edit.
Tinny? I've always been a little tinny. Anyway, this is Adam. This is Michael. We're here to talk
Where?
about the Yankees. We are like
Yeah.
sort of in that mood today. This has been sort of that. It's always fun to have these types of shows after they have a loss, especially a loss that they probably shouldn't have had because they probably should have won that game.
But I want to talk about Boone. All right.
We
So
got 5 minutes, so let's do it.
I did a lot of work on things, right? Usually, and a lot of people would agree with this, and generally I would as well, that a manager makes a 10 to 15 game difference in a season. But looking at the Yankees since the trade deadline, okay, they've played 12 games in August. Out of those 12 games, there have been 8 games, which is a very high number of games, where choices of who's going to pitch have been important to figuring out whether or not the Yankees are going to win. And out of those games, you want your manager to be right 6 out of 8 times, right? Boone has been right 3 times. So you've got 4 games that didn't matter. There were blowouts one way or the other. And I'm including the game the other day where he put in De Los Santos for a back-to-back day against the Twinkies when he had all of these other guys available and there was no reason to bring De Los Santos back in. I'm including, the fact that he went back to Williams, that after a day off, he didn't use his bullpen. I mean, you start on August 1st. He used all those new guys after the first game, even though he had Williams and Weaver ready to go because none of them had pitched. Hill and Weaver had pitched, but not used on the 31st. So they all had a day off. And on August 1st, he didn't bring in any of his guys. I understand he wanted to get his new guys in there, but once the game got close, go to the guys that had been okay. Even Williams, who had a bad outing on the 29th, but he had Weaver in there. There was no sense of urgency in how he managed. And then they had a 2-0 game where they didn't hit. That's obviously not on him. A 7-3 game where Hill didn't pitch well. That's not on him. Then you come back to the 8-5 loss to the Rangers, where Williams blew the game in the 9th. He hadn't pitched since the 29th. And, Fried didn't pitch well. And he didn't manage the bullpen. He had Weaver, Duvall, Bednar, Williams, and Bird, who blew the game at the very end. And there was no reason because these guys didn't throw a lot of pitches. Then they came back and lost 2-0 the next day. He had bad bullpen management on that one as well because he brought in Williams in a close game, and he should have given up on Williams by that point. And Leiter threw only a third of an inning. And again, they had a day off, and Bednar didn't pitch. And again, where the hell was Hill? Hill disappeared for like 4 days. Then they had the 3-2 game over Texas where Bednar stayed in. That's Boone gets credit for that, right? But he comes back after a day off and he screws it up again by using Williams. He could have kept Weaver in there. He pitched 1 inning, didn't throw a lot of pitches. Again, Hill disappeared off the face of the earth, and Bednar had a day off. Then on the day after that, on the 9th, Leiter comes in, throws 4 pitches to one batter, gets a double play, doesn't come back out. Weaver throws 1 inning, 11 pitches, and is taken out of the game. Duvall pitched badly in the third of an inning, and then Bednar allowed an inning and 2/3. He allowed the inherited runner to score, but then Grisham hit the homer in the 8th, and they won. There was no reason not to leave Leiter in there and then bring in Weaver later and extend the use of his high leverage guys, especially if Leiter was pitching well, and not bring Williams in. At this point, he should have been done with Williams. That's the point. Then they lost 7-4 to Houston, and they found the lane for Williams because they were losing 4-0, and they brought him in. And then he brought in Hill for no reason whatsoever, and they ended up losing the game 7-1 because Hill didn't have anything. Then he had a good bullpen management again back on the 11th. He just really 6 2/3 from Warren. Weaver got when they got in trouble, and then Bednar finished the game. Then they lost 9-1. Who cares? Then there was the game yesterday. It was a 1-1 game, and he brought De Los Santos back. Why? Why? He's got the whole bullpen to use because all he used was Hill and De Los Santos the day before, and he brings De Los Santos back. Leiter had been pitching well. You had Weaver could have pitched more than an inning. You had Bednar. You had Doval. You had a whole bunch. You had everything at your fingertips, and you didn't do anything. So 12 games in August. 4 they didn't need any bullpen management. 8 they did, and he made 3 good calls and 5 calls that were, oh my God, they were horrible.
But
But
this is emblematic of an ongoing problem, and that's, I think, the major reason for these swoons. It's not just the hitting. It's not just the design of the lineup. The problem is, the team doesn't, all season long, he always does this. He takes these guys out. He never leaves his starters in long enough.
well, they,
I think I saw something like 5 of the last, 33 games.
right.
Um, he's
But,
had someone go more than 5 innings.
in this stretch in August before the last 2 games, where they did get guys Warren and Rodon and even Schlittler went, a little bit more than 5. The pitchers were throwing 97 to 105 pitches in the first 5 innings.
It's
That's
terrible.
part of the issue.
That's the terrible thing.
Fried losing it, and I think it's got to be the blister. They didn't let him rest
Yeah,
enough.
I wish they would stop talking about how it's not a problem anymore. Obviously, he had a couple of tough starts before, but it
Mhm.
wasn't like this complete falling apart where
He's
he's
not.
just now.
He doesn't have the command. I mean, the bottom line is he was
And
throwing.
that's what blisters do. I think blisters do make it hard
You
for
lose the
pitchers to
field.
control.
Absolutely.
You lose field.
That's the thing. And the heart of the team, Rodon is what Rodon is. There are games he's going to throw 105, 110 pitches in 5 innings. And then there's going to be a game like the last time he was out there where he
Yeah.
throws it and goes, into the 7th or 8th inning. But, that's where losing Cole really hurts them because,
Yeah.
Cole's going to have, and he's
Cole, Schmidt, and really you don't have Heel anymore. He isn't the same guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hill's not the guy you want to count on. I mean, I'm hoping Hill's another guy. I hope he turns around this season, and the Yankees are smart enough to say, okay, we don't need this guy. Let's trade him while we can, because they've got
Well, but after 3 injuries and whatever it's been, are they
exactly.
going to? Does he have any value anymore? Again, they
Well,
missed
that's
out on
why
an
if
opportunity.
he turns his season around, yes, he does. I mean, look at. Are you going to say you wouldn't take Max Scherzer, how he's pitching for the Blue Jays on the Yankees right now,
God, yeah,
or Jacob DeGrom? I mean, not that Heel has anything close to the career of either of those 2 guys, but those guys are had big injuries and they came back and they're pitching well.
yeah.
I mean, so the starting pitching not going, and that's why I only went back to August because of the trade deadline. I was like, okay, yes, they haven't been getting it, but if you look at the pitchers, the starters have been throwing 97 to 105 pitches in 5 innings. That's unacceptable. And
But
Warren
this is an ongoing
Warren has
problem.
2 in a row now. Warren has where he's gone more than 5 because
I think Warren might very well be there. Right now, one of the most talented pitcher they have right now. He's been the guy who's been saving them a lot. He's been very, very good. So we thank God we have him. But what I don't understand is these ongoing problems with removing the pitcher at the wrong time. Always seems to be making a mistake. He makes a call. He always makes the wrong call with these bullpen decisions. It's just an ongoing problem. I don't get what they like about this guy. It seems to me De Los Santos yesterday was absolutely an analytics decision. It just seemed like somebody said he needed to go in there.
It makes no sense. And why it made no sense is it was a 1-to-1 game. So, he's like, well, it was a 1-to-1 game. I didn't want to use my high leverage guys because I didn't know. Minnesota's
Why
bullpen
not?
is exactly. And Minnesota's bullpen, they traded 5 bullpen pieces. They're crap. Their bullpen is crap.
I mean, they're going to win. They should win that game.
You got to think you're going to score runs against those guys. And to not bring in guys who were well rested and could have come into the game as your high leverage guys.
Hey,
instead
but they have to rest them. They don't have a lot of days off. Wait a minute, today's a day off,
and they have a day off on Monday. They have 2 days off coming.
This is horse hooey.
Yeah, your manager, and yes, it's a 12-game sample, but this has been, like you said, it's been going on for years with Boone. Your manager has to make the right choice on the bullpen 2/3 of the time because that's the only impact that he has. Now, if it's not him you never know with the Yankees who's really making the decisions. God knows. But
it's some pencil neck name like Ezra Von Pulpic. sitting in some office on the third floor at Yankee Stadium. And
I
he's
think,
sitting there going like
but
this.
he's got a good punum. He's got a cute punum. So
There
yeah,
it is.
but this is not acceptable. This is what the job is, And as much as I do not like Chris Russo, and thank you for sending the article you sent to me, Chris Russo had hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
If Tito Francona wanted to come back and manage this year, there was no reason for the Yankees to not go to him before they re-signed Boone with an extension and say, "Come manage our team."
Did I send that to you? I don't think I did. I think
Yeah,
that's when
you sent the
I
Russo.
sent you the one from Joel Sherman the other day, which I thought was which is the impetus.
Well, it had the Russo quote in it. It had the Russo quote in it, and it's there are many managers that are better than Boone. Now, do the Yankees have to have the best manager in baseball, which is what Russo's full argument was? Is no, they don't have to, but they need to have a top flight manager, and to keep Boone for 9 years like they have is not. It's no longer acceptable because of the mistakes he's making, and the bullpen usage. Now that he's got a lot of tools in the shed, he's not using the right tools at the right time. He might as well be me putting together the IKEA furniture as opposed to somebody who's mechanically inclined.
Oh, God. All right, my friend. Listen, I got to go. So
You have
are we
a good
finishing?
one. Say hello to all of your clients that don't know who the hell I am.
That's right. And good luck in prison.
And good luck in prison.
I wanted to get that to you. I've always wanted to get one of those in.
Yes. Usually we have to go to a prison, to a bowling alley.
And next week, maybe we'll talk about some good things. They've got lousy teams here playing. They're going to beat up on the, hopefully, they're going to beat up in St. Louis. And then maybe they'll have.
St. Louis is playing better now. So got to be careful.
Of course. And then, of course, they're going to play the Red Sox, and they got to beat they're horrible against the East, so they really have to start winning against the East. I'm telling you, no two ways about it. All right, my brother, take care. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.